what do we got going on today, YouTube? So today we are changing out the 3070, I think it's 3070 or 3060 Ti. I think it's 3070 Ti. That is in my computer. First time I've ever done this, never done computer work in my life. So today I decided to snab a 5070. Is it 5070, guys? I can't even remember. Hold on. Yep. GeForce RTX 5070. So, with the prices of RAM getting the way they are, with Sony announcing that they're upping their PlayStation Pro to $900, I've been on the fence back and forth of getting a PS5 again. I know I've done this several times, but less and less I think about it, but I haven't really felt the big push to get it. Even right now when it's $749. And before it was $650. And for original PS5, they're like, what, $499 for a slim, $500? But I've kind of contemplated with the idea of getting another one just to exclusively buy the exclusives. But I didn't want to go down the trap of owning too many consoles again, and then you start, you go against what you say and you buy games and all this stuff. So I've held off not doing it. Well, by them doing what they did, announcement that after this weekend, after the 2nd, the PS5 is now going to be the Pro. If I was ever to buy another PlayStation, it'd be the Pro. You want to buy the best thing that's out on the market at that time. The Pro is probably going to be the last console before the next PlayStation, PS6. So that'd be the one to buy. Well, now that they upped that thing to, like I said, $899 after taxes, you're looking at what, $930 some bucks, $934, almost $1,000. Then you got to put a disk drive in it. It's like, nah, fam, that's way, way, way too much money for a console. I mean, that's the price that you would pay to pick up a Relic PS3, 80 gig fat model, special edition, Metal Gear Solid edition. That's the kind of money you pay on eBay for like a collectible. That's not the type of money you should be paying for just a normal console you can pick up every day at the store. That's insane. Regardless of the point or the price, that's ridiculous, guys. I think they know many people aren't going to buy it at that price, but the people that do, they're going to make a lot of money. Don't think they're not making money off that price, guys. Take, for example, I have a chair that I bought from Ashley Furniture, okay? That chair last year was $1,200 and some dollars, $1,300. They now are selling that same chair, guys. I do not joke, for $2,300. The tariffs did not make that chair go up over $1,000. No way in hell. You know how much, if you know anything about furniture has a super high, cheap to build, high profit margin. Somebody in my dad's side of the family owned a furniture store, and he told us all about this stuff. The profit margin on furniture is insane. So even with the tariffs and all that stuff, it didn't go up that much. And I believe it's going to be the same thing with these PlayStations. I think, they're going up. The GPUs and all that's going up. Might be a little bit more on the GPU side. That's why it's so high. Regardless of the point, it's too much money. I will not dive back in, even if I got to give up playing Wolverine, a game I really, really wanted to play when it comes out. That's probably the biggest game that I really want to play. And there are a couple exclusives I missed that I don't play. But Sony's talking about putting out a PC store. So they can avoid a 30% fee essentially from Steam and having their own store that you got to go through to play their games. So if they do that, then they're going to put games out on PC anyway. I'll play them and be done with them. But anyways, with that being said, guys, I decided to upgrade my graphics card from a 3070 Ti that I bought 4 years ago now to the 5070. Now, why didn't I go with the 5070 Ti? There's a couple reasons, right? This is my first gaming PC, and I wasn't going to get caught up into the whole I got to have the best graphics card every single year, every 6 months, like a phone or something like that. So I did my research over the last day, and I was able to get a great deal. Well, I feel like it's a great deal. It was $600 for the 5070 at Walmart, of all places. And the brand is the PkY, PNY brand, which people say is one of the only U.S. manufacturers left, and pretty good graphics card, pretty well built and everything. It's got 3 fans on it, metal backing. Long story short, I feel confident about it. There are a couple people that have complained about it dying in 6 months and having some kind of a blackout. Something happens, or what, I don't really know. Only far and few between of all the reviews. So with that being said, I figured I'd take my chances on it. $600, guys. And the reason why I didn't get the TI is because if I get the TI, I'm going to have to upgrade my power supply, which is another $150 to $200. Plus, I've never done it before. To run all the wires to it. I'm sure it's not that difficult, but I just didn't want to get all that involved with it. I did my research on this 5070, and actually, this 5070 is a lot less power hungry than my 3070 Ti is. Like, half the time you're only running like 250 watts or whatever. So, they also said that it only calls for like a 550 or 450 watts or something like that, and I've got... My computer already has, I believe it's a 650 watt. So everybody online is saying that's plenty. AI internet search has said that it's fine. Reddit users have said that it's fine. So and matching up what the new GPO asked for, my computer can handle it with the power supply. So I don't got to bother upgrading the power supply. Because I'm just swapping with the same company. What would it be, a GeForce to a GeForce, essentially, that I don't even really have to update the BIOS. I don't have to really do much of anything. A lot of people are saying that it can be a simple swap, just connect it up. The drivers should be updated or should do its thing. So I'm hoping that's true. I'm hoping I don't run into a problem where I got all of a sudden it's not going to recognize it and I got to start doing all that crap. That's the part of PC that I do not like, and only because I don't understand it as much. As I'm fairly new. I've had the PC for 4 years, but turn it on and play, right? There ain't a whole lot of stuff I've had to do. And that's the beauty of buying a pre-built through Micro Center. They usually put together a pretty good computer for you. Like I said, guys, it's lasted 4 years. I've had no problems with it at all. Still runs great. I haven't even cleaned the thing, guys, not one time. Today, when I was inside it, I dusted it out real quick, but it's barely dirty. I'm also not on it super heavily either, and I generally run an air purifier in this room. I got to get it back up here and start doing that again to keep the dust down. So I'm a light user anyway, so with that being said, I got it installed. I wasn't going to make a video of how to install it because I'm a novice, guys. I'm not a profound professional at this. I'm actually a little bit nervous just doing this, which I think is normal for your first time doing this, guys. I did enough research to figure out that the thing probably is going to fit. Everything should be pretty easy, so let's see what we got. So we've got it installed, the PkY GeForce RTX 5070. It comes with already the adapters you plug in. This went into the 3070 Ti. This goes into the adapter. This comes down and plugs into there. I got this secured. I took all these out. Was able to pop it out. The only thing that I screwed up on, luckily I didn't break it, there's a gray clip down here that's like a support clip. I popped it off. I couldn't figure out what was holding it in, and the thing popped right off. It didn't break. Now I understand what it's for. It's made to support and snap in and hold this in there. So next time I got to take this thing out, hopefully 4 years from now, I will remember that and not break it. With that being said, that was pretty much it, guys. I'm going to get the glass put back on. I'm going to get everything connected, and I'm going to pray that I didn't have to, or shouldn't have had to go in with the 3070 already in there and uninstall everything and then install fresh when it fires up on this thing. I'm hoping everybody on the internet is right. And it's a simple, it'll recognize it because it's the same manufacturer, same company as far as it's a GeForce, NVIDIA, whatnot. So I'm hoping that it'll just work. I can download, install. They even said if you've already got the newest drivers, which I downloaded last night just because I was playing, that it should just work. So that's my hope. And I do know this card only has 12 gigabytes of RAM, and that was where my problem laid, right? The 3070 Ti only has 8 gigs of RAM. Now, it lasted me 4 years, almost 4 years. And it still technically works, and to be honest, guys, I went back and forth on if I even should do it because the games look beautiful. I downloaded 2K26 today. I got a cheap sale on it for PC, so I bought it, and I downloaded it. That's the game that gives me VRAM problems, but it looks like it's because it's not optimized that well. Last year's was really bad, and it kept asking for more VRAM. So 26, so far I played it, didn't ask for more VRAM, and it looks really good. So technically, I've been playing Crimson Desert. That game looks beautiful. So it's like, man, do I spend the $600? Do I get the new GPU? But I decided, you know what? Yes, because I still have the 3070 Ti as a backup that I know is fully functional, working great. I also will have, this one and 12 gigabytes of RAM. Most games still are taking 8, 10. I think some are 12. I don't know of any game right now that's asking for more than 12 gigabytes of RAM. And so I feel like this will probably last me another 3 or 4 years before I'll have the same issue. So if every 3 or 4 years I got to spend 5, 6, even if I splurge one year and go out and get 24, 32 gig of RAM by then or whatever, and I spend $1,000, I don't really mind that too much. If I run into problems. I technically could have gotten away with the 3070 for even a little while longer, but with the crazy price gouging of these companies and the fact that I could get a 5070 that will play everything, the research I did showed that the 3070 Ti will be a pretty good upgrade going to the 5070, like 40 to 50% upgrade on visuals and graphics and RAM, and it'll run everything in 1440p. Which is damn near, on a screen like I have, it's going to look, even the 3070 looks like it's damn near 4K. So the fact that this thing probably work and run really good, the FPS is going to be much higher. And to be honest with you, I come from a console. I don't mind 30 FPS. I don't mind 60 FPS. So if I'm getting 115, 120 with DLSS, apparently in the 5 series, you can get, what do they say? With the DLS, the AI generation, frame generation, whatever the hell you guys call it, you can get like 200 some FPS in some of these games, which is insane, right? So good for shooters and stuff. So the fact that it's going to be able to do that, I feel like most games are still only going to probably creep up to the 9, 10, 11, 12 gigabytes of RAM over the next couple of years. And then you'll start getting into your big time games that maybe start requiring more. So I'll have to lower my settings a little bit on those games. But by the time that happens, I can just get another one. So I could have spent another $200 or $300 and got the Ti that has 16 gigabytes of RAM, future proofed a little bit, but I didn't really want to spend the money, and I also didn't want to have to put a whole new power supply because it definitely would need a bigger power supply for the Ti. I think you would have to go up to like an 850 or something like that. So I just really didn't want to get into all that, guys. I didn't want to change that out. So that's kind of why I went with what I went with. Again, now for all you guys that want the best and future-proof, and you put a lot of money into your PC, I understand why you're going to go with just spend the extra few $100, $400 or $500 by the time you get a new power supply, and future-proof yourself for a few more years. But I feel like every 3 to 4 years, or pretty much 4 years, I'm going to see a good enough jump in the graphics cards that I'm going to be happy with whatever I decide to buy into. I'm never trying to buy the maximum thing because I'm not trying to spend. Some of these guys are spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 every 3-4 years keeping their computer up to snuff. And if that's what they're into, so be it. I'm not that guy, right? Like I said, my 3070, the games, I was playing Crimson Desert last night, and I was like, damn, or I'm sorry, early this morning, and I'm like, damn, this game looks really good, and it runs and plays well, and 2K looked pretty good, and so it's like I really struggled with wanting to do this, but I wanted to get into something before maybe the prices go nuts again, and you can't even get the basic GPUs for, a relatively decent price. This was the cheapest one I could find that's pretty up there. That's, a lot of people are sleeping on this because they're scared of the RAM. Oh, I don't have enough RAM. And yes, I agree, it probably should have came with more RAM, but it doesn't. It is what it is. So, let's get this thing hooked up, guys. I'm very, very nervous. I'm hoping this thing will just fire on. It's pretty plug and play. It'll update and I'm good to go. I really hope so. I do not have that kind of luck, guys. I'm hoping I can figure it out if it doesn't do that and I didn't just screw everything up. I guess worst case, I can throw my 3070 back in as long as this don't screw that up. I don't know what I'm doing really, guys. I'm just kind of winging it, doing my research, and I'm learning though, right? The next time I buy a computer, I'm going to understand GPU. I'm going to understand the RAM and the SSD, and you know, I'm starting to understand more and more about a PC, where now I'm going to kind of have an idea what I'm looking at, and I can't be sold a bill of goods. Now, I trust Micro Center not to do that, which they didn't with the one that I have. The only thing I wish maybe they would have sold me is maybe not 8 gigabytes of RAM from the get-go, but that was 4 years ago, so back then it was still pretty acceptable. So, but now I'll make sure, like the next pre-built I buy, I'll make sure it's, you know, I'll spend a little bit of extra money, maybe $2,500, $3,000 at the most, to get something that I know I won't have to touch for like 6 years. With that being said, I might just keep upgrading this one. It's got a big chassis, as you guys can. It's a pretty good sized chassis. I mean, look at this. This card still can fit pretty well. There's other slots here, guys, for down here that I don't even know what they're for. I got a whole bunch of slots. I don't even know what the hell all this is for, to be honest with you. As long as this runs and plays my games, I really don't even care. So, get this going, get this hooked up, fired up, and pray everything works out. And I'll do a video on the 5070 and see what we think. See if it's even worth the money. I can always return it.